talk about something that probably we all need more of today, and that is rest and sleep. How about you? You could probably use some rest. Probably never get enough.
Never. Never enough.
Remember when our kids were little and how we thought, oh,
I'm never going to sleep again.
I'm never going to sleep again. I remember thinking that. I'll probably never have another night's sleep. It's funny, you think when the kids are little, that's probably the only time it's going to be that way, you know, but when they get older, you...
Did your kids sleep through the night when they were babies?
No.
Mine didn't either. Neither one of them.
No. And I didn't do anything to encourage
I didn't either.
I mean, you know, there were ways that people recommended, you know, like put them on a schedule and all that stuff, but I was, you know...
Up every time they cried and...
Yeah.
I know with my son it was like every couple hours for the first 8 months at least.
Yeah, well...
And I was a zombie.
I gotta tell you, we were some of those people that actually had our kids in bed with us, and
yeah,
we were, you know...
Same here.
We just felt like it was what we wanted to do for that period of our life. And it was important to us to really have that first-hand knowledge of their every need and not force them to tough it out on their own.
Well, I
know there's different beliefs and philosophies out there.
Well, judging from the result, I don't think they've suffered in any way. I don't know about you and Jeff, but...
Yeah. We're doing all right.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you are.
We are. We're real happy and everything's good. But, you know, we just, we got married late in life and had our kids late, and so did you. And we just felt like it was the most important thing at that point in time for us to just, you know, have them right in our face.
Well, she would not like this if I said it, but my 16-year-old daughter still crawls into bed with me sometimes when she gets a bad dream. So, you know, and I love it. It's fine with me. So, you know, I just cherish the time that we have.
I know, because it's going to be gone before we know it. I've already got one that's married, and, you know, it goes by so much faster than we ever thought it would. And before we know it, the rest of them are going to be gone, too. And so it's
Isn't it great being a mom?
Small sacrifice. Yeah. Yeah, we both, you know, didn't know if that would ever happen to us. I was 36 when I had my first one. You were?
40.
40.
40, yeah. I guess I've given away my age
now.
now.
No, it's out. I was 41 when I had my second, and you were?
42.
42. I lost 2 at 44 and was willing to have more until I was 48, and finally said, God, if I'm not going to have any more babies, I don't want to get pregnant again, because I just couldn't bear the losses, you know.
Yeah.
3 miscarriages was hard enough, and but I'm very thankful for the 2 children that I did get, and I am blessed, and so are you.
And they're beautiful.
And I feel really blessed that we found each other too as moms, old moms.
Old moms. Older moms. We're never getting old, never.
But you know, we tease our kids a lot about having older moms. But there are
they think we're old.
Good and bad things about that. Yeah, every once in a while I catch my daughter talking about somebody old, and I say in there, how old?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you know, you're not like
that.
Yeah,
exactly.
All the ways they try to, you know, make excuses when they accidentally say something like that.
Well, I wouldn't have missed out on this for anything.
No, it's great.
I can't imagine.
But my heart still goes out to moms that want to be moms, or those would-be moms every Mother's Day, because I remember Mother's Day used to be the hardest day of the year for me.
I remember that.
And I used to physically get sick some years on Mother's Day, you know, and I didn't really put it together until, you know, I was getting a lot older, but realizing that, you know, Mother's Day always came on a Sunday, and it was a day when you had to go to church and sit there when all the other moms were standing, being recognized, and you felt like a real failure. And, you know, I know there were years that I didn't mean to get sick, but I just got sick, probably just because I just couldn't really face going through that, you know. But thank God we became moms and got to know this experience. But, you know, there were a lot of years that we really learned things that I think people who get kids right away don't learn.
Right.
And I remember people not realizing what they were saying to me. Probably you said you had this happen to you too. I remember one time sitting at a table of moms, and they were talking about stuff, you know, about their kids, and one of them I didn't know turned to me and said, do you have kids? And I said, no. And then she said, well, you wouldn't understand. Then you wouldn't understand, and laughed. And, you know, people say things that they just don't know how hurtful and painful that is, you know, to someone who really wants to have children and is eating their heart out, you know, for that experience. And but I really believe that when you've had to wait and you didn't get that experience, that God carves out something deep in you that you wouldn't have gotten any other way. And there's a real sensitivity and a depth that, you know, that is only developed through pain and suffering.
And I think that time is more precious to us.
Yeah.
You know, because we start to see it ticking away.
Yeah.
And I know when I was younger, I felt like I was going to live forever, you know, and wasn't aware of the passing of time so much.
I thought I was going to die tomorrow,
Really?
so I might as well just let it out there, you know, do it all, you know, because we're not going to live that long. That was the attitude I had.
You lived on the edge.
No, I wish I would have lived differently, but that was the way I, you know, kind of had.
But also, I think that probably makes you appreciate every day.
I'm amazed
more.
I'm still here.
That is kind of a miracle, actually.
I remember when I was sitting in some grade, second or third grade, thinking about how old I would be at the turn of the century, and thinking, we won't be here by then.
Yeah, I know.
That'll never happen.
I know.
And here we are, you know.
I know.
It happened.
It happened. Here we are. And, you know, we're so blessed, and there's so much to be thankful for, and I don't know about you, but I don't really feel that old.
No, I don't either, and I think we were kind of stunted in our growth because, you know, because we didn't have kids until later. You know, we didn't mature.
Right.
In a lot of ways.
And now we're hanging out with parents that are half our age.
Yeah.
Because their kids are the ages of our kids.
Who actually had their kids first. We had our grandkids first, you know. And, you know.
And let's hope we live long enough to see our grandkids.
I know. That's the next thing. Will we actually?
Yeah, we will.
You know, I don't think our kids are going to make us wait as long as we had to wait, I hope. They can come and see us in the nursing home.
Oh, great.
Well, anyway. No, but we seem to be talking a lot about motherhood. And motherhood is just a real rich experience, isn't it? It teaches you a lot about the heart of God.
It's the best and the worst, you know? I mean, really, because you worry more than you ever did before. You have fears and you feel vulnerable and out of control and all those things that I didn't have to worry about before.
Right.
And you know what? I'm learning, and partly from you, that it doesn't stop when they turn 18 or when they get married or when they go to college. I think we're going to be moms and we're going to worry about our kids for the rest of our life. That's it.
And what I've heard from grandmothers is you worry more about your grandkids than you worry about your own kids. Oh, great. It's right.
Never ends.
Wow.
So, you know, being a mom is you know, it's very emotional on both sides, both extremes. But
it makes you willing to make sacrifices that you weren't willing to make before. I will say that, you know, I know that before I was a mom, I never left the house without makeup on and without lipstick and all those kind of things. And I remember literally realizing when my daughter, my oldest daughter, was, you know, still 1 or 2 years old, and I was carrying her everywhere and kissing her on the cheek, you know, probably 100 times a day at least, and I did the same thing with my second one. But relishing the joy of being able to kiss that little baby cheek, you know, and to feel that sweet, soft skin and that sweet smell that babies have. And I thought, you know what, it's worth not wearing lipstick. And, you know, I had little kids, you know, because my kids were 5 years apart. I had little kids for a lot of years, and I didn't wear much lipstick during those years, but it was really worth it to me.